Okay, so today just going to talk a little bit about. I got asked a question about how do you make your group fitness stuff so inclusive. How do you get everyone getting a good workout and let no one feel get left out? And this is a really interesting question. Often sometimes when you join group training in big classes or things like that, you just feel like, oh, I could do way more, or this is way too intense for me. I need to be doing something less. And that's often then leads to, retention issues and people just not wanting to go to some of these group sessions. What I always found when I used to run my big boot camp sessions and classes from over time, something I learned from one of my mentors is you've got to do individualized group training. And the biggest premise was that is providing options. So, providing more, you have your standard of exercises. Say you're doing a circuit of 10 exercises. For each exercise, there should be a harder version, at least one or two harder versions of that exercise in terms of progressions, but then also one or two easier versions, regressions to some of these exercises. So people can, so basically the whole point of it is to be able to get everyone working, whether it's 10, 20, 50, 100 people, working at their capacities and their thresholds for them. So then this is where you can have maybe beginners, first timers doing their thing, they're working at their maximum, but maybe you have athletes who are very advanced, people, exercisers, trainers, whatever you want to call them, people just working at their capacity. So for instance, you might have someone just hanging off a bar or doing like TRX rows, and then you might have someone doing muscle ups, from one end of the spectrum to the other, and then the middle exercise, say doing some pull-ups, for instance. From that side of things. And that would be an example from one of my boot camps back in the day. So that you got people all working. So it doesn't matter. So everyone can get involved. The barrier to entry is very low. Everyone can get stuck in. Everyone has a great workout because they're all working to their capacities. They have that empowerment. I empower them. I let them to decide what they want to do, for that day. Maybe one day they're feeling good, they're feeling strong. They can go for the harder version, or today they just want an easier session. They're just turning up. It's just like get through it sort of session. So that's where they can do the easier, like a TRX row, for instance, if they don't really feel like hanging or whatever it is. So everyone has that time. So there's always been able to provide options. And when you don't provide the options, you kind of isolate people, make them feel like they're not part of this. And that you have your cohort, maybe 60% of the people who are like, yeah, this is fine, but then you're missing out on the 40%, the two extremes. Because some people just feel like, oh, this is not difficult enough for me. This is too easy, or it's just way too hard. So don't miss out on the opportunity. There's such a simple way of getting people all levels of experience and strength and fitness and everything else to be able to do workouts together, to build the community, build that engagement, and to have good fun, but also train hard at the same time. Okay.